back. You're listening to Get Real with Bob and Stacy. You're joining us for our Leaders and Legends segment. And on the phone with us today, we have AJ Wilcox, LinkedIn advertising expert. Welcome to the show, AJ.
Thanks so much for having me, guys.
Sure.
So I want to give a background on AJ. He is a longtime digital marketer who fell in love with LinkedIn ads platform back in 2011. Since then, he's scaled and managed among the world's most sophisticated accounts worldwide. In 2014, he founded B2Linked.com, which specializes in LinkedIn ads training, consulting, and account management. He's a ginger triathlete, and his company car is a go-kart. We're going to have to ask about that at the end.
I know what it is.
I know it. Yeah, but what about the go-kart?
Oh, yeah.
He looks like a redhead. He lives in Utah with his wife and 4 kids. And first question for you. I tried LinkedIn ads. It's probably been 5 years, and I didn't love it back then. But I imagine LinkedIn has changed so much just in the last 3 years that it's probably changed quite a bit.
Yeah, it definitely has changed quite a bit, thank goodness. It's still a platform that is relatively difficult to use.
Mm-hmm.
It's simplistic because they don't have a whole lot of features.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like when you go into Google AdWords or Facebook ads where there are just so many options you don't know what to do.
Right.
But it's complex, especially because the cost per click is so high. You go in, and it's really easy to not have a great first experience and to write the platform off entirely.
So who should consider advertising on LinkedIn?
So I think these are going to be especially, there are 3 verticals that I talk about. If you're business to business with high deal sizes, high value. So I put my mark in the sand right above like 15K. So if you have a deal that's going to make you 15K or more, LinkedIn ads is an absolute no-brainer. Anything under that, you could be successful at, but it's probably going to take some optimization. So yeah, go for the higher deal sizes, B2B stuff. Also, white-collar recruiting of almost any kind, either in mass or very targeted, works well. And then also in education. You have this ability on LinkedIn to say, I want to target people who have bachelor's degrees but no master's and have studied a certain subject. And so MBA schools love to use this because they can target only the people who are relevant to them.
Huh, interesting. Why should we consider advertising on LinkedIn when it seems like so many people are still focused on like Google AdWords, where they've become accustomed to over the last decade?
Yeah, so Google AdWords, I put in the category of search advertising, and LinkedIn or Facebook are all in the social advertising bucket. And there are really good things about both, and there are downsides as well. Google AdWords and Bing ads are in the search, and these are really good if you have a product or a service that people know to look for. So for instance, if they're looking for a real estate agent or they're looking for a mortgage broker or something like that, this is a commoditized kind of, at least in keyword, kind of profession, and so people are already out there looking for you. So search activities like Google AdWords can be really good. On the other hand, you have search, where we have this ability to say, we're not going to be able to concentrate on what you're currently looking for right now, but we can make sure that we're showing ads only to the people who would make for our best customers. So with LinkedIn specifically, we can say we only want our ads to be seen by tech CEOs with more than 500 employees, or HR recruiters between 50 and 200 employees. And so every single lead is exactly from the right type of person. So it makes it really powerful that way. Just depends on what your business really needs.
So how is advertising on LinkedIn different from, say, Facebook ads?
So Facebook is pretty inexpensive. Usually what I've found is my cost per click on Facebook is going to be, for business-to-business type stuff, is usually going to be between about 80 cents and $1.50, whereas LinkedIn is going to be between $6 and $8. And so at first blush you go, wow, that doesn't make sense to advertise on LinkedIn at all. But when you're in business-to-business, Facebook gives you some filters that you can search by, like job title and company size, company name, company industry. And those things would work really well. That is, if anyone put those into their profile. Facebook asks for them, but most people treat their Facebook profile as being intensely personal, and so they tend to leave out the work stuff. And so if you're as a business-to-business advertiser going in and trying to really achieve scale there, you're going to find very quickly that you can't spend much money, you can't generate very many leads. But with LinkedIn, all of that information, we give it by default when we very first open up our profiles. And so you have near infinite scale and access to the world's top professionals. So it makes a lot of sense in this case.
Okay. What is the difference between search marketing and social marketing?
Yeah, so the search is going to be someone is actively looking for you. So they're going to Google or they're going to Bing and they're typing in specifically like, I'm looking for this type of professional or I'm looking for this product. And then in search advertising, you can say anytime someone types one of these keywords, show them my ad. And so you're only showing it to people who are actively looking. Social advertising or social marketing, it's going to be getting in front of people who maybe fit your right criteria, but they're not actively searching for you yet. This tends to work really well for products and services that you might put more in the disruptive area, where people don't know that this exists. You need to get it in front of them to educate them that there is a possibility here.
Okay. So many of our listeners are in real estate or mortgages. Do you have any advice for how they could potentially build their business using LinkedIn?
Yeah, I think there are two sides to LinkedIn that you should consider. LinkedIn advertising may not make sense because we are talking about needing those larger deal sizes.
Right.
But the other side of LinkedIn, using it as a free tool to get in front of people, I think makes a lot of sense. So I have 3 different ways that I tend to use LinkedIn on the organic side or the free tool side. The first is I build my profile to the point where people can come and find me. It's attractive. I'm putting the right headlines and description of myself and keywords into my profile so that the lights are on and it looks like someone's home. The second is going to be outreach. So you can specifically go and search for the types of people that you want to do business with or you want to be connected with. They'd make great clients. They'd make great partners. And send them connection requests and personalize it. Just make sure that you personalize it. 'Cause I get so many connection requests that I have no idea why I would ever want to talk to this person.
Right.
But make that connection request sound like, hey, I saw your profile. I saw that you do such and such. I'd love to be connected to you.
Right.
Or
send them value. I get 1,000 of these emails, and it's like a sales pitch. But the ones that I actually click on are somebody that sends a request and sends an email, and they offer an item, like an article that you might be interested in for your business.
Yeah, this is so powerful in social advertising, especially because with search marketing, someone is actively looking for you, so you can really cut right to the chase. But with social, because this is the first time that someone's probably come across you, it doesn't make sense to cut right to the chase and throw a sales pitch. I think that's where so many people go wrong on LinkedIn and other social networks. But just like what you said, you offer a freebie. You give them something of value to start that conversation. And who doesn't love something for free? Who doesn't love education?
Right. Exactly. Interesting stuff. So what do you need to offer in your social advertisements to catch someone's attention?
So I will say things like a demo request or a free trial, although to you as a business owner, that kind of thing does have a lot of value. But I think on the other end, to a potential client or customer, that feels too salesy. So I think you need to start with an offer that's a little bit lighter. What we find in social advertising, especially in business to business, is offering a piece of content like what's traditionally called a white paper. That would be a guide, a checklist, an ebook. Sometimes even webinars work well as like, hey, no pressure here, but if you want to learn about this subject, sign up, come listen to us, and that tends to work pretty well too.
And I think even beyond doing any type of paid advertising on LinkedIn, first of all, I try to tell salespeople all the time, take an hour and update your profile because there's still thousands upon thousands that are so empty with very basic information. But I do a lot of blogging on the LinkedIn platform. So I've garnered a lot of followers who just end up following me because they're following an article that I've written. So an easy way that doesn't have any cost tied to it is just start blogging on there.
Absolutely. And I call that the content marketing aspect to LinkedIn, where this isn't outreach anymore and it's not just tuning your profile. Now you're actively sharing content that people are going to come across and find interesting. And the most impressive part about this is that when you publish one of those articles, there are human curators at LinkedIn who specialize in certain topics,
right,
who are actively looking for content. And if they find that your article is better than something else, they'll syndicate it out. So it's not going to be seen by just your 1,500 or 2,000 followers. It's now going to be seen by 50,000 people overnight. Has that ever happened to you, Stacy?
Yes. So I've had a couple of articles, and I've seen it. So that's always my goal. Can I get them to feature one of my articles? And it's just, you never know if they're going to feature one. But I've published probably 100 plus articles, and probably 10 of them have been featured. And those ones have had hundreds of thousands of views and shares. And then all of a sudden I'll get tons of follows from it. So that's always my goal. That's my high in life, is when a bunch of people end up reading my content.
It's absolutely magical. And like you said, it's hit or miss. You don't know when one of your articles is going to hit it.
Yes.
But when it does, it's magical.
Absolutely. All right. I do have one or two more questions, but I don't want to forget about the go-kart. So is your company car a go-kart?
It is. I obviously can't ride it everywhere because I am within city limits. But as a kid, my ultimate goal was to be able to drive. I've always loved cars.
Where do you live?
As a kid, the only thing that you can't... I live in Utah. It's about 20 minutes south of Salt Lake.
Okay.
So definitely not legal. But as a kid, I really wanted to drive, and a go-kart was the closest thing you could get. So fast forward about 15 years, I'm working in a corporate job, making better money. I own a car, so that's not an issue, but I couldn't shake the need for a go-kart, so I just went out and bought a racing cart.
That is awesome.
That's cool.
You need that as your profile picture on LinkedIn. I'll check back in a couple weeks. All right, social advertising. On LinkedIn, what are the targeting capabilities that we can use to reach a prospective client?
Yeah, sure. So this is, I think, the best part of LinkedIn is this amazing targeting. You can use job titles. You can use the department they work in or their level of seniority. So if they're a manager, a VP, C-level, director, whatever, you can target by skills that they have listed in their profile or groups that they're members of. You can target by their level of education, their company size, company name, company industry. Basically, anyone in a business, you can find some way of reaching them through LinkedIn targeting. It's beautiful.
Awesome stuff. All right, so we need people to update their profiles, try out blogging, consider paid advertising. So if somebody is listening right now and they're interested in trying out a paid ad, do you say that it's not smart to go at it alone? Only because my one experience with it is it was a little more complicated than like a Facebook ad campaign or an AdWorks campaign. Do you think that they should hire somebody like you to help them through their first campaign?
So I am a little bit biased here, obviously, but yeah, like I said at the beginning, with cost per click being so high, any mistake is going to be costly. So I think it makes sense to work with someone like me, even if it's only to just get things set up initially, so you're started off on the right foot. But if you do want to go about it yourself, if you go to b2linked.com and look for courses, I'm going to be releasing courses at some point. And so if you take part in those, you wouldn't need to be paying B2Linked's management fee to still get things started on the right foot. So a couple of good options there.
That's awesome. So that is b2linked.com. Because the other piece I'll say about LinkedIn, in having done my own paid campaigns in the past for advertising, is I love LinkedIn, but if you need help from a human being at LinkedIn, it is not possible. They have like a help area where you can click on articles if you get stuck, but you're definitely not going to get like one-on-one correspondence with somebody at LinkedIn if you get stuck on something. So I think that's another area where the value of working with a firm like yours becomes handy.
Absolutely. Yeah, we get, we have direct access to human reps, and so if there's a problem, it's really easy for us to get in contact in ways that other people can't. Otherwise, if you're spending at least $25K a quarter, you can get your own reps. So wherever your budget is.
Oh, who knew? I was just below the limit.
Just below.
Who knew there's people at LinkedIn? Well, thank you so much. Where again can people find out more information about you, AJ?
If you go to B2Linked, that's the letter B, the number 2, and then the word linked.com, fill out the form there. You're not going to be followed up with by a sales rep or put into any sort of nurture sequence. You will get me, and I will respond to you. So that's probably the best way to get in contact.
Excellent.
Awesome. All right. That is AJ Wilcox of b2link.com. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks, AJ.
Bob and Stacy, you guys rock. Thanks so much.
That's all for this edition of Get Real. Make sure you join us again next weekend.